online haircut.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Avenues podcast. Who better to have on than Gabriel Gal? The guy that we had on 2 years ago now, almost 3 years ago, actually. That was in 2023, who we had on talking about his time learning Mandarin Chinese. And that video blew up on YouTube Shorts, as well as the episode had a lot of good response. So we're running it back because views and all that. Anyway, in terms of Mandarin, where are your skills at now compared to how they were then? Because back then, I guess we left off at the fact that you stopped learning Mandarin and then you weren't as good with it, but you were able to speak some stuff. But then I know you personally in real life, and you were able to bring it back again, right? And you started to study it again, and you got really good. Like, I remember in school, back in high school, you were just speaking to the Chinese kid, like, or whoever, right? Just back and forth. And I was like, I remember people being like, wow, that's so cool. So, but that's been some time as well. So I'll ask, like, where are you at right now currently with Mandarin Chinese?
Well, yeah, compared to before, I mean, it's definitely not as good. Like, I was kind of partially Chinese. Like, it'd be the equivalent of like, the internationals here that they can kind of understand English, but you'd have to like explain everything, like mansplain everything to them. Like that was my level. Like I was still like I would have like I could have gone to China. And I think that if I went to school or like continued my education there, like it'd be hard for me, really hard for me. But I'd also learn it quite quickly, the rest of it, and I was pretty good. Now I'd say like it's definitely not the same. I think it still surprises me how much my brain has learned because I've watched videos before I was learning and I would see like the strategies a lot, and one of the strategies is like how to retain information for long term. And I feel like a lot of it has been retained for long term. Like sometimes I can understand people talking in Mandarin walking past, and the reality is you only need to understand about 20% of what people are saying to actually have an idea of what they're talking about. Because a lot
Wow.
of other words are like, you know, they're they just expand on the topic to give more specific things. But you sometimes you only need to understand one word in a whole sentence or two and be like, okay, I understand the general topic that they're talking about. So yeah, it's still a little bit, but not definitely not as good as when I stopped in that video.
Oh, really? So you're actually worse than in that YouTube short video that blew up.
Yeah, well, for a bit I got better. I downloaded this app called WeChat, and it was kind of like it was for talking to people, but there was this like TikTok like function that was in Chinese and um Mandarin specifically. It helped a lot because I was able to have fun. And I was at the point of my I was at the point where like, okay, I'm not gonna spend more time grinding Chinese. So this was an app where it was like this wasn't a grind. It was just
To
like
maintain, right?
yeah, kind of maintain and just have fun, like watch shorts and stuff. So that helped a lot. But then I was like, I got too hooked onto it, and then I was like, I actually have a lot more that I need to do, and I can't get stuck in WeChat. Even though learning Mandarin is good, I have a lot of other things that I need to work on, so I can't actually do that anymore.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. Like, right now you're doing engineering in university. And so I think that, like, for that, you need a lot of time for that. So to be learning Mandarin, one of the hardest languages to learn as a native English speaker, would be so difficult. Like, no one would be able to do that, I don't think, unless you were to fail one or the other. So I totally get that. I am surprised though that you did say that you're worse than in that video, because you were pretty like confident in you being rusty at the language. Like, you were telling us, "Oh, it's not that good right now," blah blah blah. But you got really good after that. So it's a little like sad to hear that, but at the same time, like, it makes sense. And I kind of like to think about it. I would expect that with where you are at in your life right now. Um, so looking back at your time learning Mandarin Chinese, you talked about it in that popular YouTube Shorts video. You spent so much time with the language throughout the years. So, what would you say is your biggest regret with your time learning the language, and what is your favorite moment about learning Mandarin Chinese?
Yeah. So biggest regret about it, I think I don't, to be fair, even though I learned Mandarin and like I don't know it anymore, which sucks. I don't think I regret learning it at all. I guess the biggest thing that I kind of wanted to do instead of learn Mandarin at the time was get into exercising because I was doing something and like I was grinding on something. It wasn't like I was like on Minecraft all day. Like I used to do that. Like I used to just wake up, play Minecraft all day during my vacation and then like just do that the whole time. And
Wow.
that was a waste of time. And I was happy that I wasn't there. But yeah, I think one of the things was that like, oh, like I didn't initially want to like at the beginning, I did regret it, but now that I'm looking back at it, I think that the fact that I've started to learn it has actually helped me a lot now. Like I'm competing for electrical engineering. I did 1 year of pre-engineering at a university, and now I'm going to BCIT. This is my first year. I'm competing for electrical engineering here, and I think so much of it helps me. Like one of the biggest things in Mandarin Chinese is memory. Um, how to memorize things. Like I can pick up something, and if I set my mind to it, I can memorize it like within 30 seconds. And I also know like the tricks that there are. Like some people might learn a lot of something, but then like one of the things is like constantly memorizing it, like remembering something and being like, oh, like let's say this simple equation for electricity, like power equals um like current squared times resistance, and then instead of trying to memorize it all at once, like memorize it, be like, oh, P equals I squared R, and then a few days, like a day later, look at the same equation again or things like that. That thing, it helped me. But not only that, it really got me in a mindset of self-learning and discipline through that. Like one of the things I did is that like this summer, I was working a part-time job and I was also learning C, which is a coding language, because I know that I actually have C coming up. I'm starting my new semester in 2 days, and I need to learn C, and I heard that it's really confusing. So I learned that during the summer, and I had a bunch of people tell me, "Hey, like this is summer. Like, why are you doing this? Like, you're crazy." And to me, I was like, "No, I actually this is what I'm used to now. Like, I actually can't imagine life without doing something productive. Like I was working a full-time job, but I was also learning C. And I think that there's nothing that I regret because it's taught me some skills. I don't think I would have had the strength or the discipline to learn C during that if I didn't have built in the habits with Mandarin Chinese. So yeah, I don't think there's anything that I regret. But what was the second question?
It was like, what was your favorite moment learning the language?
Oh, it was definitely eavesdropping.
Oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but you know what? You make a lot of sense. Like for you to say that you applied the discipline that you used to other things in your life is probably the biggest asset, right? About learning Mandarin. And so that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think of it like that, but I'm happy you pointed that out. Now I'll ask, what do you think? Because a lot of people were in the comments saying that they're learning Mandarin and they're doing things that you didn't do that they benefit from when it comes to learning.
Mhm.
So, what would you say to anyone who wants to learn Mandarin Chinese? What is your biggest advice to them?
I think, I think, yeah, I think learning Mandarin is great. Um, my biggest advice would be analyze your cause. The biggest reason why I eventually stopped learning is because the reason why I was learning Mandarin was not good enough. I loved Mandarin, but I came to the point where it was like going into grade 11 and I needed to focus on my career. And then it was like, yeah, I can keep on learning Mandarin. I actually hated the fact that I felt like I had to stop. But then I asked myself, I was like, wait, like, I don't think this is taking me anywhere in my career. Like, I don't see a career with Mandarin and like certainly with AI. I feel like artificial intelligence is only going to get more intelligent and the asset of knowing another language career wise is only going to get worse and worse because I heard the other day I heard of like earbuds that you can just put in your ears, and if the other person also has the earbuds, or even if they don't, then it could help you like translate, like it'll pick up whatever they're
Like
saying,
real time.
like real time, like
Wow.
30 seconds, and then just translate it back to your ears. So I think, yeah, just things like that. It's like, sure, you can learn Mandarin, and some causes are really good. Like I know people that are like, yeah, I want to learn a second language because it's good for my brain. And I think it is. I think it really is. But then at the same time, is there something more productive that you could be doing? Like if you're learning Mandarin, but you have no idea where you're going in life, career wise, is it really worth it to know a language, right? Because you want to spend your time being like, all right, I don't know what I want to do in life. Let me check out all these options, ask all these people. And that's essentially what I did. I asked teachers, I asked bakers, I asked chefs, I asked like pastors, I asked environmental engineers and all sorts of people about how their career is to find out what I wanted to do. And now I'm going into a career that I I want to be in. So I think that would be the biggest piece of advice.
Yeah, because you're saying that you didn't have the purpose behind it learning because you're not going to make a career out of it, and down the line it's not going to be as needed. Um, I don't know if I asked you this in the episode that we did last, but what made you really like want to learn Mandarin?
Um, well, the first thing I just fell in love with it naturally. First thing was like in grade 9. I'm in an old high school. I had three options to either learn French, Spanish, or Mandarin, and to me, French was like it was lame because I am French. I come from France, so it's like I don't want to be sitting in a class doing nothing and just getting grades for something that I already
A
knew.
B C D E, like, and you're just like, yeah,
Like
okay.
that, like I don't want to, like it's basic for me, and I'd have to. Actually, I've heard of French kids that have got a pretty bad grade because they don't actually like a lot
Oh.
of we know how to speak the language. We don't know like the theory behind it, which I
Mm.
think is kind of stupid. Of like you have to learn what a conjugate verb is. I don't know what a
Mm.
conjugate verb is. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
that makes I get that. Yeah.
Whatever else they're saying in French, it's like I think that's crap. I think the best way to learn is just like, the biggest thing for learning languages is like if you want to swim, jump in the water and try to swim. That's the best way for a language, not maybe not for swimming, but that's the common saying. It's like just start
Just do it.
speaking. Right? Like just do it. Don't be like, all right, before we get in, here's some useless theory. Like I don't know any theory, but I speak French better than like much better than people that have been in French classes for like 4 years.
Yeah, just because you're native with it and like all that stuff. Yeah. Um. So, well, can you spit some Chinese? Like, if I give you a sentence, like here, if I give you a sentence, let's say, um, thanks for having me on the podcast, Avenues podcast, or like some like thanks for having me on this show.
Um, I could say it, but it sound like if there's anybody who would speak Mandarin, they'd be like, yeah, this guy, like, no, I don't think I can say that.
Okay, can you say um, shout out Avenues podcast or like thank you avenues. Or no, that's too easy. We got to give you like something that's like we got to prove that you still got it. Like we got to I don't know, say like last time you said like thank you for having me avenues, or you said like thanks for coming on avenues or something like that. You say anything similar to that?
No. Hold on.
Gabriel, we're not looking good here, man. I'm trying to show off my friend to the viewers, and you're lacking right now.
Yeah. I can hear better than I can speak, but my hearing also sucks.
You learned Hao Tiao recently. I learned that as well before.
Yeah, yeah.
And that what does that translate to? Like I
Yeah.
didn't even know this. So by the way,
Oh yeah.
I was telling people that are Chinese at my school or at my work, Hao Tiao. But like
Mm.
if they don't understand the slang, like what does it mean specifically?
好笑 usually means like very like if it depends on the tone. If you're saying which sounds like 好小, it means like very small.
So if I'm saying Hao Tiao,
好跳, 跳 means I think it means to run or walk. So it's like good walk or something.
Hao
Yeah.
Tiao, good one. Yeah, okay. Uh
Yeah. Uh,
what sorry, were you gonna say something?
no.
Okay. I'll ask what was the other thing I was gonna ask? What do you think of Xiaoma? Is that how you say his name?
Xiaoma?
Yeah, what are
Oh,
your thoughts on
oh,
him?
the white guy that orders at Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
I think he's great. Like he knows Mandarin and his videos are like fascinating. I think as a Mandarin learner, it really motivated me. Of like, whoa, this is really cool. Like I could like look at this guy and what he's doing. I think it's really good. I think he's like, for example, like when he's talking, or he learned not just Mandarin, but a lot of dialects that nobody else knows. And
Yeah.
it was just nice just to see the people's faces like, what? Not like this white guy knows my dialect.
Like my specific small little town in China.
Yeah, my specific little small town. So I think it's good. And he's made a career out of that. He makes YouTube videos super popular and like he just has fun. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of hard work into it. Like he definitely spends a lot of time because he's learned so many languages. But yeah, no, I like him.
I guess I asked you this off camera, but I'll ask you on like someone like that. So is he from China, do you know?
My understanding is that he was raised in China. Like he was white. Maybe he was adopted, but my understanding is that he was raised in China and then but he at a very young age, so he still knew English. But he was raised there, so for him, Mandarin came naturally.
Yeah, cuz I was going to say I don't get it how somebody like let's say someone at his level of Mandarin wasn't raised learning Mandarin because it's easier to learn that stuff when you're young, right? Like
Mhm.
when you get older, let's say he tried to learn it when he was in his teens or something like that. How do you
Mhm.
make that a career? Because you have to have some sort of backbone. So let's say like I'm in high school, right, and I'm learning Mandarin and I take it pretty seriously, similar to you. And
Yeah.
then, my time at high school is finished and it's time to go to university to get a job
Yeah.
or get a job straight out of high school. But someone might not do that that's wanting to have his similar career path. Like I want to make YouTube videos traveling around China and other parts of the world just speaking the native language. Let's just talk about China for now, like learning Mandarin Chinese, different dialects, and then going out and speaking it. How do you have time to do that without sacrificing that time when you can be getting a job or a degree? You literally
Mhm.
just have to study, save up money somehow, and then go out and then make a video and just hope that it blows up and you get YouTube famous. Like, because I don't really get how else you would do it besides taking a leap of faith, really. And then if it doesn't work, then you're fucked. Like, I don't, like, I don't really know how else that would work. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, well, that's initially, I mean, I guess that's part of what I was thinking too, of like the only way I guess I could see, well, not really. I didn't really see myself going into YouTube, but I think that, yeah, I think that's risky. I think how maybe he did it as a side career because he seemed like pretty old. So you could always have a job and have something on the side, right? I think that's what a lot of people want to have these days. I think that's pretty valid. Like, but yeah, I think it's risky if you're doing it on its own. But if you already have like a part-time or full-time job that's already sustaining you, and you're just sitting around the house afterwards, then I mean, you could do that if you already have skills. Might as well put them to use, see what they can get you.
So you think that's enough? Like, if you're working full time, you still think you can get that skill of learning Mandarin really, really well?
Um, yes, I think so. And like the what the comments are saying on the last one, like one of them was saying, if I were him, I would just learn 30 minutes a day, not 2 hours, and just watch a movie or do something fun, or watch even in Mandarin, I think it was. And I think that's it's pretty valid. Learning it 30 minutes a day is pretty good for that. And yeah, I think that'd be something that I'd want to do as well.
Those comments that you received on the YouTube short of you talking about your time learning Mandarin Chinese, what is your
Mhm.
overall opinion on those comments?
Well, there's some that are pretty macho, I'd say. There's one that's like I'd just call that lazy, which I understand, I actually do. Because that person didn't get the full story. Like I looked at the video again and I was like, yeah, the reason why I was learning was because I burned myself out. But now like I realized the reason why I was learning wasn't because of that. Like sure it sucked. But I think I just had a feeling. I think like I like to credit to God. I think God really pushed me and just gave me this feeling of like there was just a feeling in me that was like I should stop this. I should stop doing this. And I don't know why I had that feeling. And then I guess like I didn't feel like it. And then all of a sudden I did it. And I guess it could be called lazy. But then I realized later, I was like, oh wait, now I'm stressing about my career. Like I need to get my career done with. And like I mean there were other people that were like, you're grade 11, you don't need to stress about it. But it's like you apply to universities beginning of grade 12. And so yeah, I think that was yeah, I mean, I don't think to address that comment, like I don't think I got lazy. I think I just addressed my focus this towards somewhere else. Like I put my focus in getting a career, put it on exercising, and I think that was I just was able to analyze it and be like, oh, this is a better use of my time, and then just do something else that would help me more than Mandarin.
Yeah, good point. And given the chance in your life, maybe with your job, maybe with a partner, maybe with a friend or whatever, given the opportunity to go to China, would you take it? And if you did, would that have kind of relit something in you? Or would that just be like you? Would you always be excited about that? Or going to China, would that be like sparking something up again inside of you, being like, oh my God, I'm back to this? Or would going to China anytime always be like, oh my God, yeah, let's do it?
Hmm, I think that would be exciting for sure. I definitely did consider. It was like University of Victoria had this website that was talking about like studying abroad in China and doing part of your engineering degree there.
Oh,
And
wow.
I got really excited, but I looked into it and I don't think they were doing the program anymore. But
Mm.
I think that's something that would have been exciting for me. Um, the only thing with China that I wouldn't like is that like Christianity's not treated well. Like I'm Christian, And here it's fine. You get respected for it. People, even though they might not agree, do I willingly want to put myself in a situation where my faith is at risk and I could get killed for it? Um, and I don't think like, yeah, I wouldn't. That's the reason why I wouldn't go to China. But otherwise, I would really love to have a career like speaking Chinese or being China. I would still be excited for that. But if I could do electrical engineering in China, that would be pretty cool. But
Yeah.
there's also the fact that it's super competitive there. Like
Uh-huh.
here in like North America, we're like, oh yeah, like if you do good on your grades, you'll probably get in. Whereas in China, it's like you do 100%, you'll also probably get in, but you'll probably just not get in and be a factory worker or something like it's really competitive there.
Yeah.
Like I've talked to
Yeah.
kids, they're like so stressed about it too.
Yeah, because even if you do get the 100, other people will get 100 too, right? So, yeah,
Exactly.
for sure. Talk about engineering. Right now, you're doing engineering. How do you find it? What's some cool shit that you learn you want to like preach out about?
Um, I think it's really good. My first year of engineering was general, at Trinity Western University, but it was more like, hey, we've got math and science, you can come learn it, and we'll call it general engineering. I wouldn't consider it general engineering, I would just consider it math and science. But yeah, I mean, it helped get me into university mindset because it's definitely different from high school. Now I'm at BCIT. Um, there's some really cool stuff that I learned. I think it's good. It's competitive. Like only the best 25% of us get in. But it's still something that I find really cool. I love learning about electricity. I think it's wonderful and it does so many cool things. And not only that, it's also like how computers run. And it's like computers are significantly complicated and like knowing how they work is really nice. One thing that I realize is I think it only takes about 5 volts. So if you have a 5-volt battery and you have a cut, it only takes about 5 volts to kill you, I think. Or no, I think it's the amps. Yeah, I understand your electricity isn't like that tip top, but I think it only takes like a few amps if you have a cut and you have like a small battery of 9 volts. Like the resistance in your blood is so low that you just put that to the cut and you could pretty much die because it goes to your heart and it messes with your heart. So that's pretty cool, I guess.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, how do you compare the engineering program to? Well, how do you compare the engineering program between BCIT and Trinity Western?
BCIT is engineering. And BCIT has a mindset of like, we're an institution, we're not a university. You're going to do this amount of work, and if you do well, you're going to go into a job. We're just basically what they're saying is that they're creating, like, they're making us products for companies, which is like, for me, it's like valid. Yeah, I want a job, and BCIT is known like they go up to company like managers and be like, hey, what are some skills that we need to teach our students? And the manager would be like, yeah, nobody here knows how to do this. Like nobody knows how to communicate properly. And it's like, oh, well, what do we need? What do we need to teach our kids? And they go through that. So BCSC is very good for that. Of like, go to school, get a job, get a career, and get out of here, which I love. Trinity Western is more of a I'm here for the university experience. University, like they have really fun university events, and they have really supportive people, and it's a great community. But a lot of it is like we don't like there's math and there's two physics courses and there's a lot of math, but like I know a friend who did computer science there and he hasn't found a job since. And he's been working for like 2 years at a summer camp because he couldn't find a job after graduating. So I think BCIT is definitely better for that than Trinity Western for like career oriented. But if you want a good university experience, you want a good community, then Trinity Western is definitely a good place to go.
Damn. Okay. So
Yeah.
somebody commented, you spend 2 hours a day learning Mandarin. What would you do with the other 22 hours of the day?
Yeah, so turns out I I spent 2 hours locked in on Mandarin. I tried to lock sometimes, well, a lot of times it was like I have school. So like, there's that and there's is the lighting better now?
I just couldn't see you. You were cut off.
Oh yeah. Um, so yeah, a lot of times like I have school. And then during the summer I was like I have work. But there were some days when I just tried to learn Mandarin, and it was a lot of it was like I have um like I try to lock in, and then but then it's like and then like 2 minutes in, like I'm watching YouTube. Like a lot of it was like my lock in time was like I would put a 30-minute timer and do like this website called purpleculture.net. It's really good for learning Mandarin. And then I would go on YouTube to watch Mandarin videos, but a lot of it was like I'm trying to lock in. I'm trying to lock in, but like it took a lot more than 2 hours to actually learn Mandarin for 2 hours because a lot of it was like getting distracted and then trying to lock in. And I also really was into baking at the time, so I baked a lot. I baked sourdough, I baked cookies, I baked like French stuff. I tried to make croissants, so I did a lot in terms of that.
Yeah, we talked about that last episode too. I forgot making food and shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good. Well,
Hmm.
Gabriel, I don't have any more questions for you. Really happy you came on the show. I've been wanting to get you on ever since you came on, to be honest with you. I just wanted to find another reason to, and this was perfect. Everyone loved the content we made with the Mandarin content, so that's why I had Miko on previously, and then I had you on now, and they're doing pretty good. So thanks for taking the time to chat again, and I would love to have you on the show again as well. Hopefully,
Mhm.
we could find something else. I would like to have you on in person, but you now live in Vancouver Island, right? Gibson's, Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, well, I live at BCIT in dorms now, but
Oh, well, you just doxed yourself. Now, everyone is gonna come and find you on from TikTok or from YouTube or from Instagram, and
oh.
yeah, what room number? Anyway, um, yeah, but now you're there now, right now, right?
Yep,
Nice. So yeah, you go around, right? When you're not living on campus, you live with your parents on Sunshine Coast.
yep,
Nice.
that's right.
Outside looks nice. Is it raining for you? It's raining for me right now.
It's raining for me too.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, it was good chatting to you. So that has been episode 231 of the Avenues podcast featuring Gabriel Gal. Thanks for coming on, Gabriel, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.